Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-Ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the first part of the February Discmemberment of the Civil Gore podcast. I am your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. And we had to split it up due to a couple things, really. One, like for some reason, they just kept adding titles.
This is like a huge month for Blu-rays.
It was like when we first got it, I think Tim had, looked at the thing and it was a decent amount of titles. But then like they added like 10 titles like to the second half of the month. And we were already kind of late this week just due to scheduling. So we knew we were going to have to kind of fit this one in. I'm like, I don't think, I don't know if we're going to be able to get this full episode, because this might be like, if you put it together, close to a 2-hour dismemberment, and those are tough.
Yeah. Those are the ones that I'm like hoarse by the end of it.
Yeah.
They're tough to
and
get
through. We've had such a good interview this past week, and we have a great one coming up tomorrow, because we're actually recording this Sunday, which is a rare Sunday. Yep. After the snow dusting that Tim got and blizzard that I got. I mean, I should post a picture of where, like, really what my car looked like. Our cars were so buried, it looked like the car was trying to make its own, like, snow fort. It was crazy.
Yeah, our snow was like, it was beautiful while it lasted, but I swear, if you had slept in, you would have totally not known it snowed.
Yeah, yours was like tipping over, knocking over like a thing of talcum powder or something.
Yeah,
like,
it was like
no, and then like swiping it away.
Yeah, it was completely melted in like a couple hours. It was gone. So, but anyway, let's get into our Blu-ray releases this month. Like I said, short month, but big on releases. I don't know what was going on here, but like tons of horror releases this month. We're going to go through about 15 today, and then we'll save the back half, which is about another 16 or 17. For a couple weeks from now. I guess that episode, the second part, will land on February 15th.
Yeah. I mean, at some level, it does, for big months like that, it kind of makes sense anyway to do it that way, I think. Just because, you're getting a lot of information at once.
Yeah, it is a lot.
And you may want to break it up a little bit.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get right into it. These are the Blu-ray releases for February 1st. And first up is Slumber Party Massacre from Shout Factory. This is not the one you're thinking of, though. This is the 2021, I guess it's a remake, or I don't know if it's like a reboot or a remake. But the summary here is Dana, daughter of the only survivor of a bloody massacre in 1993, is going on a weekend trip with her friends. After their car breaks down in the very same town where her mother once fought the driller killer, Dana and her friends must come face to face with the psychotic serial killer who has haunted her mother's life for the past 30 years. So this sounds like a kind of a reboot / requel or whatever they call it kind of thing. It looks okay. I mean, I'll probably give it a shot, but I don't know. I'm a big fan of the original, so I don't know how well I'm gonna take to this one.
I mean, yeah, it looked very like, I don't know, it's a stereotyped horror genre, like for a trailer. I don't know, with people going, woo, we're gonna, a lot of, like this trailer I don't think was effective.
Yeah,
maybe. In. Yeah. That might be it. The movie may well be pretty good in the end. I don't know. Yeah. But like the trailer to me, I don't know. It just seemed like it was obviously trying to like, show you it's a little different than the original, but but keep the same thing. Like the driller killer he had a drill, which is good at least.
They at least got that part right.
Kept that motif. It wasn't like you didn't come in with like now like a corkscrew or something. But the thing is like I think the trailer made it look. I mean, I know what they tried to do. I think. I mean, now that I'm thinking that, as I'm saying it out loud, I think they tried to get that typical 80s horror feel for that trailer, because that's what the trailers were like in the 80s. But the problem is the movie didn't have the feel of an 80s movie. It looked like a total like current day movie, so I think it just missed a little bit. I mean, granted, like you said, I'll give it a shot. I mean, definitely not something I don't think I'm gonna purchase right away. I'd give it a chance, like to see it on streaming. Is it on any streaming services now? I don't know.
I have not looked. No.
I may watch it on a streaming service first. See it. I definitely wouldn't like not watch it.
So the special features here are an audio commentary with director Danishka Esterhazy, Danishka Esterhazy.
Doesn't that sound like a new IPA?
It
sounds like
delicious.
It's like Esterhazy.
Danishka Esterhazy Q&A at the Abattoir Horror Festival, an alternate ending, trailer, and stills gallery.
The Abattoir Horror Festival. That's a cool.
That sounds cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Next one is this is one we got to try. I never got to watch it. I wanted to because we got the screener, but I never got to. It's for RLJ, the Shudder folks. It's on Shudder now. It's called Superhost from 2021. With their follower count dwindling, travel vloggers Teddy and Claire pivot to creating viral content around their most recent superhost, Rebecca, who wants more from the duo than a great review. And, I mean, it looks okay. And Tim's right. He kind of put here that it gives away a lot in the trailer. But you know what? So many horror bloggers out there, some are so, and I know it's hard. There's a lot of companies, but some of them are so cringe. There's some really good ones. Some are cringe. So personally, I kind of like when something when movies show something like horrible happens to them. I know that sounds terrible because I don't wish harm on the real people in the world, that are horror bloggers, because I know they do a great job. But it's kind of I like the things in the movies where kind of the queer kind of those irritating social media influencer people on there that do the travel stuff specifically.
Yeah, they get their comeuppance.
They get their comeuppance, because they're like, look at me, because a lot of them are getting paid to go to these places, and stuff. So I kind of like when your comeuppance is great, because you see, we've seen a million things. I've watched, I've seen theme. You know what it is? I think we're also I have to say. So I should specify it's more the theme park travel bloggers that Tim and I witness is what it is.
We watch a lot of those.
Ones. That's the ones that really get to on my nerves. You could tell the ones I think that are kind of brought there by the theme park, versus the ones that are people just really go out and know their stuff and kind of do,
Yeah, some of them are just instant irritating, and then some of them are I could watch them all day long. It just depends on the personality.
Yeah.
I had never heard it before, but Brian said I guess it's in a lot of these travel. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's a Vici or something.
Yeah, Avicii's song. You gotta stop putting that song on everything. Behind the scenes of Superhost is on here. Shooting in a pandemic. So that's those are. I always like those kind of features because pandemic added so many challenges, and we did get so much content throughout it. Mm-hmm. Film industry kind of went back to work as soon as they could. And they found really new and creative ways to get a lot of great content out there. Which was important because a lot of us were staying home and needed it.
Yeah.
So there's also bloopers, Superhost visual effects, behind the scenes photo gallery, Scaredy Cats episodes 1 and 2. Not sure what that is. Maybe that's some kind of thing you know about in the movie. Maybe there's something in the movie.
I'm guessing that's probably the name of the blog or whatever that's doing that. I wouldn't be surprised if they did an entire episode. I'm guessing here. I don't know for sure.
Well, when movies do that, that tends to be better. I think when there's a show featured about a movie or a show about a show. Mm-hmm. Or about a movie. Sometimes it's almost good to film it as if you were filming it as a real thing, because then you just piece out what you need and it looks more natural.
Yeah.
It doesn't look so I always wondered when we see these music videos and the person singing in all those locations, they're probably singing most of the song in that location, or just sing the line that features them in the song.
Yeah. That's the best way to do it.
Weird that way.
And then you can pick. Then you got multiple takes and stuff you can choose from when you do it. All right, so that brings us to our pick of the week. Yeah, only 3 releases this week. This one's a doozy. This is a doozy. Ooh, so Brian and I both agreed on this one. This is Kino Lorber's release of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978. Truly one of the greatest remakes. When you talk about remakes, I think some of the best remakes are the ones that remake an older movie. When I say older, 50s or something, so that they can bring it, some new stuff to it. And of course, this has Donald Sutherland in it. It's just
of course, it spawned that meme that everyone uses. Of Donald Sutherland
pointing.
Which, any movie that has a viral meme like that, I like.
So the synopsis here, if you haven't seen it, is San Francisco residents are slowly being replaced by replicas, and it's up to a handful of humans to stop the invasion. So this was just a great update to a classic 50s kind of B movie. And this one has some really, really good extras. We got a 2-disc set. One is the 4K Blu-ray and one is the regular Blu-ray. So you got a 4K restoration of the film from the original camera negative, approved and color graded by director Philip Kaufman, an audio commentary by director Philip Kaufman, An audio commentary by our good friend, film historian Steve Haberman.
Yes, and of course we know he comes into the Spider-Man theme
Yes.
with his own name.
Yes, so Steve Haberman has his own theme music. On disc 2 here we have Star-Crossed in the Invasion, interview with actress Brooke Adams. Recreating the Invasion, interview with screenwriter W.D. Richter. Scoring the Invasion, interview with composer Denny Zeitlin. Leading the Invasion, interview with actor Art Hindle. Writing the Pod, interview with Jack Finney expert Jack Seabrook. And Jack Finney expert, interesting.
I know, that's like, it's funny that like when you have an expert of just one man. Like,
Yes,
you know, it's like, who, you always wonder, like, you when you have friends and family and they're like, oh, I know you better than I know myself. Like, is that like in training to become like on a Blu-ray? If someone other than like, of course, our wives, like who knows us the best, but like maybe a really close friend or brother or something like that. Would they be like our historians? Like,
yeah. I mean, Jack Finney's, I think he died in 95, but still it seems kind of recent. It seems like, I could understand like an Alexander Hamilton expert, but like a Jack Finney expert's interesting.
Well, I mean, listen, though, it's probably a lot easier, though, when they die that recently to get, you probably got some, like, you got to learn from him before he died.
Yeah,
you don't have to go back into the microfiche.
True. Revisitors from Outer Space are How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Pod featurette. Practical Magic, the special effects pod featurette. The Man Behind the Scream, the sound effects pod featurette. The Invasion Will Be Televised, the cinematography pod featurette. Theatrical trailer, TV spots, radio spots, reversible art, and limited edition O-card slipcase. So another great Kino Lorber release. That is definitely on the buy list. So to recap the week of February 1st, real quick, we had Slumber Party Massacre from Shout Factory, Superhost from RLJ, and then our pick of the week, Kino Lorber's fantastic release of Invasion of the Body Snatchers 1978. Okay, that brings us to the week of February 8th. This is a much bigger week. We had a dozen releases this week, so let's get right into it. We had first up from Sony Pictures, Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. This is a Resident Evil movie that my wife did not know about, and when I told her today about it, she flipped out and was like really mad that I didn't tell her about it. But I'm like, hey, I can't.
It was in and out of the theater.
It was so fast, yeah. Description here. Once the booming home of pharmaceutical giant Umbrella Corporation, Raccoon City is now a dying Midwestern town. The company's exodus left the city a wasteland with great evil brewing below the surface. When that evil was unleashed, the townspeople were forever changed, and a small group of survivors must work together to uncover the truth behind Umbrella and make it through the night. And to tell you how, like, not well advertised this movie was, I actually thought this was an animated film.
I did too, because there's an animated one it's very similar in title.
Yeah, so I thought this was animated, but then I went and looked at the trailer and I was like, wait a minute, this is live action. When did this come out?
Yeah, I knew there was another movie out there that we hadn't seen. I knew it was out there because I think when we did the preview episode, I think I saw it. And I knew there was one with Kaya Scodelario in it, which automatically makes it a watch for me. But I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, but I did the same thing when I saw this. I said, oh, that animated one's coming out on Blu-ray. And then there one on Netflix, like some kind of show on Netflix,
I'm so confused with Resident Evil right now. But I got to get Olivia wants to see this, so she's like dying to watch this.
We'll have to do that. That has to be on our I think for a future Slaycation too. All the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah,
there's like 12 if you count the animated ones.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So that's a solid one. I mean, we already have our plan, I think, for this summer, but like, yeah, that could be in the following year maybe. Because probably they'll release another one by then.
Yeah, or 2 or 3. This one has a Dolby Atmos audio track, Replicating the DNA featurette, Cops, Corpses, and Chaos featurette, and Zombies, Liquors, and the Horrors of Resident Evil featurette. So,
Next one is a Kino Lorber. They're back again with The Antichrist, 1974. It says, Ippolita is a paralyzed young woman with serious mental problems stemming from the death of her mother. Her crisis of faith and the intervention of a well-meaning psychologist led to Ippolita to remember her past life as a witch during the Inquisition. That's an interesting plot right there. Mm-hmm. Eventually, Ippolita becomes possessed and starts seducing local men, only to kill them. And exorcism seems to be the only solution to stop the madness.
Yeah, this one, I don't know. I got a vibe that they were really ripping off Rosemary's Baby and The Exorcist with this one, with the demonic possession stuff. It just had that feel to it. And I know it's 70s demonic possession. Obviously, it's going to feel like The Exorcist, but there was a lot of movies trying to clone that success at this time. So
yeah, and plus, it's like the lead actress kind of almost looked like it was a role that Jessica Chastain would take on, like and just cut her hair, because she had like she could just be in any role. They just modify her. Like Julie's watching the thing the one she did where she was Tammy Faye Baker.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was like that. She like you almost like she transforms so well into the person. It's like like physically and like like the way she acts.
Yeah, I like that. I like those actors and actresses that can do that. Like I would say another one would be Gary Oldman. He's very good. He's very good at like disappearing into any role he does, and you forget that he's Gary Oldman because they can just remold his face to do whatever they want to do.
Like, yeah, it's weird. It's so funny how certain people can just like do that. Like that's just a whole an extra whole skill there.
Yeah.
The trailer's kind of crazy on this, but like Tim said, there was definitely some obvious potential ripoffs there. But it's a decent disc, though. It's got a 4K restoration completed by Studio Canal. Raising Hell, featurette with director, co-writer Alberto Di Martino and composer Ennio Morricone. I almost butchered his name, and I've said it a billion times, so that's where I'm at today. New audio commentary by author and critic Lee Gambin, who we have somewhere in the film historian, but since he's not a film historian today, I didn't bother to.
Yeah, I was being strict today.
Yeah. We need to cut down. And then Lee Gambit and critic Sally Christie. TV spot. The Tempter opening credits in standard definition. Reversible The Tempter art. What is The Tempter? Is that like another film? I
don't know. I don't know. Is that like an AKA possibly? I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. Limited O-card slipcase and some trailers.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna.
Next one's our pick of the week.
Yeah, I'll skip over our pick of the week and we'll go straight to Shout Factory's "Live or Let Die," not to be confused with the James Bond film. This is from 2020.
Although they should have put that song in the trailer. Live or let die. It would have been cool for this trailer.
Yeah. Through an outbreak of a virus, the human race has become near to extinction. Lone Wolf Nick and Reckless John, good old Reckless John, wander through the destroyed land, following a map, their last chance for hope to a safer sanctuary. Effects-wise, looked really good. Like there's some really good effects in this, but it's another zombie movie, so my I don't know, I'm kind of reaching zombie threshold again.
I did, but you know what, though? It looked pretty solid, and I kind of like the grittiness look of it.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't look like it was one of those typical zombie films where there's like a million zombies and they're just shoot them up and stuff. It looked like it was pretty isolated each time. Like, and it looked like there was there were a lot of different set pieces. Like, there were a lot of different areas. It looked like a big, like almost like a journey film.
Yeah. And you know what? I've been surprised a lot with recent zombie films that I thought were just going to be, I'm not really interested, and then I'm blown away by it. So who knows?
I know every time. So I mean, like, it's like, I don't want to like let my guard down yet 100%, but like, I'll still like, if I like the trailer, I think my kind of my bar right now is if I think the trailer looks interesting, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
If it looks just like typical generic, like million zombies attacking somebody, I'm like, yeah, I'll wait. Next one is Ghost Riders. Again, not to be, it's Ghost Riders, not to be confused with the Nicolas Cage vehicles, Ghost Rider. 1987, it says an outlaw gang hanged by a posse in the late 1880s comes back from the grave to terrorize the descendants of the posse's leader. And yeah, I don't, horror westerns are cool when they work. This one didn't give me the confidence that it would do that. I don't know, something about it.
I'm not sure I would even know this was a horror trailer if you didn't tell me.
Yeah, like if it was not on a Dismemberment and I just stumbled across it, I would have said, oh, look at this Western.
Yes, it doesn't look like a horror, very scary at all.
Yeah. But it does, for this disc, I mean, it's MVD visual. They kind of came up with some extras here. It says a new audio commentary with director of photography, producer Thomas L. Calloway, writer-producer James Desmarais, and moderator Steve Latshaw. New, Bringing Out the Ghost, The Making of Ghost Riders, a new original documentary. Was there an original, like a regular original documentary, like an older one? New reissue trailer. Oh, I guess it was. Maybe it was a release before. New reissue trailer. It says low budget films on the set of Ghost Riders, vintage documentary. There it is. It's right next to me. Duh. Maybe. Brian, read before you make a comment. Okay, movie stills and behind the scenes photo gallery and original theatrical trailer. So it's from '87, I guess. Yeah, so I guess it's been some time since then.
The next stop's pretty cool. It's from our friends at Mondo Macabro. Haruko the Goblin from 1991. A school was built on one of the gates of hell behind which hordes of demons await the moment they will be free to roam the earth. Haruko is a goblin sent to Earth on a reconnaissance mission. He beheads students in order to assemble their heads on the demons' spider-like bodies. Hieda, an archaeology professor, and Masao, a haunted student, investigate the gory deaths and eventually battle Haruko. This looks like a super creepy trailer. If you like the head spider thing from The Thing, this is like full of them.
Yeah, and I like how they mention it in the description, and you get a taste of it in the trailer, so you know what they're talking about.
Some great extras here. There's a new restoration, a new interview with director Shinya Tsukamoto, audio commentary by Tom Mez, original Japanese trailer, tropical. What about that? I'm looking at trailer and special at the same time, and I'm calling it tropical. Special creature effects, Takashi Oda interview, creature effects. Vintage interview with director Shinya Tsukamoto. Special slipcase edition with illustrated artwork by Ian McEwen, limited to 1,000 copies.
The next one we did not get a trailer for, but I think I've heard this title before, though. Of course, Mondo Macabro and Succubus from 1989. Says there's much to talk these days of folk horror. I feel like this is like settled down by the fireplace. I'm gonna tell you a little tale here. So I'll start over though, so you get really in the feel if you want to sit by the fire here. Says there's much to talk these days about folk horror. This film is the real deal, based on a gruesome and ancient story, much retold by the people who live in the Alps, the huge mountain range that spans 6 European countries, in case you didn't know the Alps. In the summer, the 3 herdsmen, 2 adults, and a young apprentice took their cattle high up on the mountains, where the pastures are richer. At night, holed up in their cabin, there was little for them to do. Inevitably, their thoughts turned to sex. But as they were 3 men, what could they do?
Oh my god, where is this going?
This is not aging well, the plot here, because, but anyway, the more reckless the men tried it on with the young boy, but wait a minute, hold on, I don't think I read this before. Okay, this is really going off the rails. It says, the more reckless of the men tried it on with the young boy, but was soon put in his place by the group's leader, who was himself combating lustful thoughts through prayer.
Yeah, that's one of the more intriguing synopsises we've had on here.
Yeah, and we should say we really don't read these synopses.
No.
Tim sees like a snippet of it when he copies and pastes it, but we purposely don't read it because of all the funny like mistakes that sometimes are embedded in there. So I apologize for my shock there because I was like, did not expect it to
to start reading like a penthouse letter.
But yeah, so that's Succubus from Mondo Macabro. But there are some special features. It says a new 4K restoration of the film from the original camera negative, German audio track with optional English subtitles, new exclusive interview with actor Peter Simonishek, original trailer, new cover art by Justin Coffey, the caffeinated version, and Mondo Macabro previews.
I love the name Justin Coffey.
Justin Coffey, yeah, it's like just in time and Justin Coffey.
Yeah. It just seems like
Hey, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like a cool creamer.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't it? Like, it's like new Justin Coffee. Yeah. Like, this is all these new flavors. But remember, use it Justin Coffee. Like when a mother comes out or something. Yeah.
Exactly.
Speaking of that, to go on a slight tangent, I did see Whole Foods now sells the liquid versions of those layered creamers we like. Those really good, healthier creamers.
Yeah,
I didn't see the pumpkin one, but probably around the fall they'll have it. They just had vanilla and stuff.
Right, nice.
So look at how well we adjust and pivot and go from a really questionable topic of that movie to our favorite coffee additives.
I think I just want coffee now. Oh my gosh. All right.
I know. Sorry. I don't know. I'm still on beer now. We had our coffee this morning. Now I'm like in beer mode, but now I might want to go switch back to a cup of coffee.
Thanks, Justin. Now you're having us crave coffee. All right. Next up is a great one. This was from Troma. Surf Nazis Must Die from 1987. I've got to see this one.
Yeah, I can't believe you hadn't seen that one. I haven't seen it in a while, but this is like one of those ones that used to always like kind of you pop up on camera.
I don't know how I've not seen this one. Feel the roar of monster waves. Experience the passion of perverted romance. A courageous saga of a mother's undying devotion and her quest for justice becomes the tidal wave of action and destruction. This one has some great extras. New Wave intro by Lloyd Kaufman, president of Troma Entertainment and creator of The Toxic Avenger. Exclusive interview with director Peter George. Hang 10 on set. Interview with producer Robin Tennell. Deleted scenes. The Projection Booth podcast featuring special guest Peter George. Another podcast who
I know.
Doing a commentary.
You know what I was gonna say? Don't tell Lloyd Kaufman that you hadn't seen this one because he might choke on his little personal sized pizza.
That's right.
But now we might have to confront him if he's back at the New Jersey HorrorCon and ask why we're not on this disc.
Exactly. Scenes from the Tromaville Cafe, the Soul of Troma featurette, Troma promos, Radiation March, and Indie Artists versus Cartels. Troma Now promo, Gizzard Face 2, Return of Gizzard Face. Who knows?
Why couldn't it just be The Return? Gizzard Face 2, The Return. I think we know who you're talking about.
When it comes to Trauma, I just read. I don't even question. You just gotta go with it. Yeah. Trauma short, Blood Stab, and plus more #fan toxic featurettes. So who knows? It's a Trauma. It's always crazy.
Yeah, a Trauma. You just have to
just roll with it.
You know what? Yeah, just whatever they give you, just accept it and enjoy. The next one, again, is back from Mondo Macabro, and that's School of Death. And it says, the outwardly respectable St. Elizabeth Refuge in Victorian London is a place where young orphans and other female waifs and strays are trained to be good servants, destined for employment in the houses of upstanding citizens. One by one, the girls are sent out into the world, never to be seen again. You know, Mondo Macabro here, being very... very careless with children lately. Okay,
yeah, there's some
with these two movies.
Yeah,
but it's got some, typical Mondo Macabro. Got a couple of good features here. It says the new 4K restoration of the film for the original camera negative, English and Spanish audio tracks with optional English subtitles, audio commentary. I almost said cat and Terry.
It's just like meow 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 meow.
Yeah, meow 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 meow. Yeah, by Kat Ellinger, of course. One of our favorite of the film historians. Ad art on each side and a 20-page booklet featuring brand new writing on the film by Spanish film expert Ismael Fernandez. And all I got about him, though, was that he likes to be the expert on Moby Dick.
Oh, really?
Of all things, and he tells everybody when he walks in the room, he says, "Call me Ismael." And so, yeah.
Nice. All right, so next up from Dark Side Releasing, we have Domina Nocturna from 2021. Haunted by the darkness as she wanders through a dead city, our young, doomed heroine Angelique is stricken with hallucinatory visions as she learns the story of a cruel and loveless vampiress. Her visions are of the bizarre rituals that imprison a group of satanic worshippers in a cycle of dying passion, and who seek to survive beyond the grave. In Angelique's ears, only the music of the gothic atmosphere flows to augment her quest into the horror and the passion of the dead, and no voice can rise above it. A haunting, enigmatic tribute to the classic Euro horror works of Jean Rollin and Jess Franco, Brazilian filmmaker Larissa and Zuato. I have no idea to pronounce
Poor Tim,
that.
you were doing so well. It was such a nice, dulcety, silvery tone voice.
Created a film inspired by authors Lord Byron and the Brazilian Alvarez de Azevedo, and Anzuatague's passion for expressionist aesthetics. I'm so sorry about that name. I just can't pronounce it.
That was a lot.
This is...
It's got every letter.
This movie, this looks like a... I can't tell if this was a movie trailer or a Meatloaf music video. I have no idea. I have no idea.
R.I.P., by the way, Meatloaf.
Yes.
But,
that was my little tribute to Meatloaf, by the way.
Yeah, it was weird. It really seemed like a video. I still don't know what it's about. Tim's great description of it didn't match what the trailer was, so I don't even know.
We don't even have any extras to tell us, so we don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing. This next one is from Rising Sun Media. I think we've had them once before.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to say this correctly so you don't misinterpret. It is I Scream on the Beach, not Ice Cream on the Beach. It's I Scream
Which
on
is
the
a great title. I mean, it's a pun.
Yes, it's great. And I can't believe it's from 2020 because... the trailer is very retro, but it says, in the small seaside town of Mellow Coast, Emily, Hannah Patterson, was trying to discover what happened to her father. But as she searches for answers, her friends start getting picked off one by one by an unknown killer. But it was so bizarre, but it was oddly appealing because whatever that killer was had this weird, like, thin face and kind of a mask.
Yeah, well, they did the what you see a lot as a typical, like, retro style, and a lot of times that comes out gimmicky, but I think it actually helped this movie to have that retro style. When I look, at least from the trailer, it actually looks like it kind of fit. So I'm willing to give this one a shot. Yeah,
no, I would definitely. Like I said, it's very oddly appealing.
Yeah,
like there's something about it that I'm like, I kind of want to see this.
Next up, another one from Rising Sun Media. We have Anna and the Dead from 2015. When her parents decide to separate, 16-year-old Anna Brooks, a narcoleptic, is sent to spend the summer in a small coastal town with her aunt and uncle, Jennifer and David, who hold some very antiquated values.
Why? That's so important, apparently, that their name is Jennifer and David.
That's what I was laughing about. It's so specific. Suffering traumatic hallucinations, Anna also witnesses several bizarre and sinister incidents involving the townspeople, creating palpable feelings of paranoia and anxiety, leaving Anna unsure of who to turn for help. I just could not find a trailer for this one, unfortunately. So
I don't know, but Anna's Anna's in horror films have a lot to deal with. This one's got to deal with the dead. The other one's got to deal with the apocalypse.
yeah,
I mean,
give
Anna's a break. We need to start a trend, like a hashtag. Give Anna's a break in horror. You know?
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, that brings us, Brian, to our pick of the week. So I'll let you take it away.
Yes.
I'm really kind of excited about this one.
Yeah, this one is from Shout Factory. So Shout Factories, I know they almost have like an unfair advantage because their discs are so good. So it's like if it's usually a close one, and there were a lot this week, but I mean I think this definitely still was the stronger favorite. It's Paranoiac. 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 From 1963, it says, Simon Ashby is a wealthy psychotic who is coddled by his aunt in the palatial mansion outside of London. One day, Ashby's long-lost brother mysteriously arrives at the house, but events prove that he is an imposter sent by Keith Cossett, son of the attorney for the family estate, who had been dipping into the family.
Keith Cossett, don't say.
I know. I feel like when I saw that name, like as I was about to, I'm like, this has to be an angry British man reading it.
Damn you, Keith Cossett.
I know. It's like sent by Keith Cossett. It's just I don't know. He's I don't know. He's a designer or something. But anyway, yeah. This one's it's a Hammer film apparently. Tim, right?
Yeah.
And Oliver Reed's in it. I mean,
I've heard good things about. I've heard this is one I've heard through Facebook groups and other things. There's a lot of people excited about this one because it's a Hammer film because of Oliver Reed. I think I haven't seen this movie, but it sounds like one that people are pretty excited for.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of screaming in this trailer, but still it looks really cool. It's great, ton of, it's not like there's a ton of actual features, but, like, they're all big ones, kind of.
Yeah.
So the first one is, it's a 2K restoration from Interpositive. It's a new audio commentary with author and film historian Bruce G. Hallenbach, which of course when he teams up with Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson, they're the Stygian witches.
What is that? I don't know why that was always so funny to me. I don't know.
It cracks me up. It's your brother's fault.
Yeah.
Because he mentioned that on the podcast that day on Fox and the Foxhound, and then it popped it into my head, and it happened to be that day we came across Bruce Hollenbach, and the rest is history. New Drink to Deception, an interview with author, film historian Kim Newman, of course, who was grandfathered in. So but it's a bad neighbor to Barry Forshaw. And then A Toast to Terror, an interview with author, film historian Jonathan Rigby, he's kind of like, he bounced around. At first he wasn't a historian, but now he is again. And of course he's related to Kathy Rigby, the famous Olympian and Peter Pan portrayer. However, that's where the similarities end, Tim, because Jonathan hates gymnastics and Peter Pan.
Oh.
So, and it also comes with The Making of Hammers, Paranoiac, hosted by author Wayne Kinsey, theatrical trailer, and a still gallery.
Very nice. So to recap, February 8th, we had Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City, The Antichrist from 1974. That's a nice little Kino Lorber feature. We have Live or Let Die from 2020.
Live her alone! Sorry.
Live her alone!
I couldn't resist.
Live or Let Die 2020. Ghost Riders from 1987. Haruko the Goblin from 1991, Succubus from 1989, Surf Nazis Must Die from 87, School of Death from 1975 and under Mondo Macabro release, I Scream on the Beach from 2020, Domina Nocturna from 2021, and Anna and the Dead from 2015. And to wrap things up, our pick of the week, Brian and I's mutual agreed upon Shout Factory release of Paranoiac from 1963. Yes. So we will be back on February 15th for the second half of the month. That's a pretty big one. We have 2 releases on February 15th and an astonishing 19 releases for February 22nd. So we will we'll see you back here for those, and hope you guys take care and listen to our full regular episodes because we have some really, really good guests coming up.
Yeah. I think like when this drops, you'll have heard you'll heard one of them, and then the second one is being is literally being recorded the day before this releases. Then we have another one, and we have another one lined up week after that. We're actually interviews are coming full speed this year, and they're all good ones, which is great. It's all like really cool ones, you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited how 2022 has started off with a bang in terms of the interviews. I mean, it's been like one a week. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. But and you know what it is? They're all different and unique and good. That's what's awesome. You know?
All right, guys. So we'll see you back here soon.
See ya.